What is up, guys? Zan from Playbook.gg, and in today's video, we're going to go over the Bunch Week Max Protect Busting Blitz. Before we dive into this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the great tutorials that we've got headed your way here on the Playbook.gg YouTube channel. Okay, guys, so welcome back. Now, the first things first, you want to be able to go into your coach settings, and you're going to turn auto flip on. This is going to allow us to run this blitz to the best of our ability. And the blitz that we're going to be focusing on is the nickel blitz 2. Now, our opponent typically is going to come out in bunch. It's always important to know how to get pressure on bunch. And one of the most important blocking schemes that you need to know how to attack is the max protect bunch. Now, with this play, we're going to base a line, pinch our line, crash them up, shift our linebackers away from the nickel corner, blitz them all, and spy. And that spy is going to serve as a spy blitzer. And what you can see right here is that when we run it this way, we're sending 6 guys. We're sending the 4 up front, the nickel corner off the left side, the outside linebacker off the right side, and then our spy blitzer, which is basically a delayed rusher. Now, this is really good against your sideline flood meta. A lot of players like to max protect. They like to run the backside receiver on a drag, a slant, something they can playmaker up the field. And then they like to have either a deep corner in a streak or a deep post in a streak. With this particular defense, I really like this because what you can end up doing is walking the safeties down in the box. And you see that this is what it looks like right here when we set it up. You've got the nickel corner on the bunch side. You've got the outside linebacker on the running back side. You're playing soft squatch, which means if the wide receiver on the left goes vertical, this corner, Humphrey, will convert to man on him. And then I can lurk in the middle of the field with Weddle. Now, when the ball's snapped, you're going to click in the right stick, and that's going to delay blitz this player. Now, the thing about this is that it's very, very tough to get the ball out. Even if it doesn't come in initially, you're basically going to have 7 one-on-one blocks, and somebody is going to win at the point of attack. So you can kind of see with all these one-on-ones, you get the penetration through the middle, somebody block sheds, and then you have guys in soft squats converting to man-to-man. Now, of course, with this blitz style, you can always convert your zones into whatever you want. You could play your safeties and hook curls. You could play your outside corners in deep zones. You could do whatever you want based off of what you think your opponent is going to do. But the key with this particular blitz is to be able to key in on their hot reads. Now, I'm going to go ahead and punt the ball back to AntCap here, and we're going to talk about how I like to kind of adapt with this blitz. This was actually a blitz that I put in our nickel normal defensive game plan several months ago, and I actually just ran this blitz for the most part the entire time in the most recent $1,000 Players Lounge tournament. Now, I didn't win the tournament, but that was because my offense wasn't great. My defense in that tournament was really solid. Players were, throwing fumble sixes because their quarterbacks were getting hit as they were throwing drags. I was picking routes off left and right. It's all about being willing to take chances. As you guys know, on the website, we've got stuff like the Some Series 5-2. This is very similar in approach to how Some Series runs his defense, just blitzing until your opponent basically gives away their hot read tendencies. Now, of course, you are going to give up some dots every now and then, but with this particular blitz, if you just kind of mix up your coverages, you can kind of see what I'm going to talk about here. So if I'm worried about Julio Jones getting over the top, I could play my outside corner in a deep half. That allows me right here to lurk the middle of the field a little bit more aggressively. I don't have to worry about getting beat over the top. I can pick off a drag coming from the right side. I can look at the running back on a table route. You can kind of do whatever you want with this play. But again, when that ball's snapped, you're going to want to send that spy in through the middle, and that's going to allow me to, you see, I can jump underneath, take away that read. This is going to be one of those things where if your opponent is sending, let's say that our opponent likes to send 4 guys out, they just block the running back. That's going to put them in a mathematical disadvantage. So again here, this is an example of if your opponent doesn't max protect. So again, we're running the exact same setup, base align press. We're going to shift our linebackers away from our nickel corner, and then we're going to pinch our line and crash up. And then I like to man align at the end just to make sure that my slot corner or my outside corner on the left aligns over Julio Jones. Now, again, if we're talking about how this defense works and our opponent is going to either send the running back out or the tight end out, we're going to be back at a mathematical advantage. So again, we're in a spot where we don't have to cover as long. So we'll go ahead and see right here. We snap the ball. Somebody is free at the quarterback. And that means that you don't have to cover very long. So this is very similar to the approach that players like to run in the 5-2. It's just going to be out of better coverage personnel via the nickel normal. Now, obviously with the 5-2, you can guarantee pressure a little bit more easily. This one, if they max protect, every now and then you'll have a situation where they might have to block shed to get home. But if you know who to individually man up, who is on the hot reads, they're not going to be able to throw those crossing routes. They're not going to be able to throw the post routes, the deep corner routes. They're not going to be able to playmaker because somebody's going to be blitzing, and it's very, very tough to playmaker while scrambling, especially if you don't have the Lamar Jacksons and the Michael Vicks of the world. So again, we'll go ahead and show you here. You can get as exotic with this as you want. So if I want to, I can play my outside guys in deep halves. You know, at a 3rd and 27, I might run a defense that looks like this. I'm not worried about the flats at this point because I know that 4th down and close to, you know, 25, 30 is coming up. You see right here, I could go ahead and just kind of do whatever I want. Mix up your coverages. You can play a cover 2 invert. You can play true cover 2. You can kind of hybrid, play a deep half and a hook on one side and then the flat and the deep half on the other. Just mix up your coverage, try to be as confusing as possible. And this is a blitz that's going to give you a lot of success. Going to get you a lot more sacks, a lot more interceptions, and a lot more sack fumbles. And those turnovers lead to points. And if you're a player that is like me, you like to play ball control, having a very aggressive defense like this to get you the ball back is very, very key. You control the time of possession, you're going to win more ball games. Make sure you check out our nickel normal defensive game plan, Playbook GG, $9.95 a month will get you everything on the website. That's close to 30 game plans for just $10. If you like this video, check out one of the videos on your screen right now. And for more in-depth analysis, visit www.playbook.gg for detailed game plans written by pro Madden players. Master the game with Playbook.gg.